Good afternoon, butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. How is everyone? I hope everyone is having a beautiful and pleasant afternoon. I hope everyone is taking care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I'm doing great, guys. I'm happy to present this video to you guys today because this is another gang stalking tactic video that I have came across due to some research that I have been doing this morning. Shout out to citizensoulpower.wordpress.com as my credible source. And as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I will be talking about the Martha Mitchell effect. Guys, the motive behind this video is a message that I want to put out there to my targeted individuals to never give up. Always stand in your truth no matter what. Always stay grounded. Don't let anything dampen your faith with God. And your truth will continue to shine. And it just goes to show that the saying, everything that is done in the dark will most certainly come to the light. It is really depicted in this story that I'm about to discuss with you guys today, because there is a true meaning behind this gang stalking effect. There's a true story behind it. And you know, guys, I feel that there's a true story behind every gang stalking tactic. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the research on this video. Guys, the Martha Mitchell effect is when a psychologist or a psychiatrist or any other mental health professional diagnoses a patient with a mental illness. And it is always based on a false self-belief. They usually would label this person as being delusional or paranoid. And these diagnoses are made no matter how factual and accurate the person actually is. Okay, it doesn't matter how much truth is behind what this person is saying. The person that's evaluating them is convinced that this person is delusional and they're paranoid and they're suffering from some type of mental illness. Now, the mental harassment theory that is derived from this story, that is derived from this gang stalking tactic, is from the story of Martha Bill Mitchell. And she was the wife of President Nixon's Attorney General, John Mitchell. She became aware of an evil agenda that was being pushed behind a scandal called the Watergate scandal. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of it before, but I'm going to give you all a summary of what the Watergate scandal is. And it was a political scandal that happened in the U.S. in which Nixon administrators denied their involvement in the Democratic National Committee headquarters being burglarized on June 17th of 1972. When this happened, 5 people were arrested in the connection to the crime, and they possessed a large amount of cash on them. The Department of Justice connected this large amount of cash to the committee for the re-election of the president. So there were people being, this was money that was being taken away from people falsely. And when this happened, okay, this is when Mrs. Mitchell was connecting the dots, okay? This is when she was figuring, you know what? Something's not right, okay? she pretty much is the one who connected the dots on this situation, okay? And as a result of, she then contacted a close friend, which happened to be a news reporter by the name of Helen Thomas. And one of those 5 people that were arrested was among President Nixon's camp, and his name was James McCord. And Mrs. Mitchell reported the connection between Mr. Accord and President Nixon's camp, which proved that the Republicans had formed a scandal to steal money from the Democratic Party. And as a result, a prominent Republican was assigned to keep an eye on Mrs. Mitchell. And this is when the monitoring and gang stalking became very serious for her. It was already, the gang stalking was already there, but once they assigned this person to her, it was like she was kind of trapped and was constantly watched at all times. That means everything that she was doing was monitored. And guys, this is what I mean when I say monitoring spirits, when they're actually assigned to you in real life. And it is to stop you from doing something. And whatever it is that you're trying to be stopped from doing, it serves as a huge threat to someone else. She served as a huge threat to President Nixon and his camp because she figured out the connection between the burglary and the person that was involved in the burglary, who he was connected to. As a result of this, he assaulted her in the hotel room, and when she called her friend, Mrs. Helen Thomas, which was the reporter, it was said that Mr. McCord pulled the phone from her hands and shoved her against a wall. Her friend reported that when she called the hotel back, Miss Mitchell wasn't, it was reported that Miss Mitchell wasn't feeling well. And the fact that she made these particular accusations made high-level officials assume she was suffering from a mental illness. And guys, you know, just to add something onto this, I really feel like the people that are doing the labeling, the mental health professionals, I feel like they know that these people are actually telling the truth. I feel like they're hired to fabricate the evaluations to make it seem as if the person is actually suffering from a mental illness. And this is because it's to help to push and to also hide who's actually pushing the agenda at the same time. But it's very clear. It's very clear, as is with a lot of agendas that are being pushed today. It's very clear who's behind, who's pushing them. And when it became clear that she was telling the truth about the Watergate scandal, Mrs. Mitchell was threatened. She was physically abused and even kidnapped. And this was to keep her from telling anyone else. And guys, I want you guys to be very careful out there. There are a lot of people who don't like you because you know the truth, okay? Just simply because you could just know who they are as a person. It doesn't have to be anything huge. But it most certainly can. But I feel that figuring someone out as a person, that's a big deal as well, because it exposes their character, exposes who they really are. And if this person is not a good person, their cover will be blown, by the person who's not afraid to expose them. And these people can become very, violent and upset with you for doing this. And all in a nutshell, guys, the Martha Mitchell effect describes anyone, who is diagnosed with a mental illness when they are describing their reality. And notice this effect is only described as someone telling the truth but being diagnosed with a mental illness, only when they're telling the truth. And it lets you know that there's only two things that can be taking place when the Martha Mitchell effect is actually taking place. It can mean that the mental health condition, it can mean that the person has a mental health condition, but is still being factual when describing their reality. It also can mean a person doesn't have a mental health condition and is still being factual in describing their reality, but it is hard to believe by others. So sometimes it can either be hard to believe by others because it just seems so far-fetched. And I think it's because sometimes people find it hard to believe that people would take desperate measures to do a lot of the things that they do. But no, it's true. People are stopping at nothing to carry out their, plots and schemes or whatever it is that they have to do in order to get what they want. And that's why we have to be careful out there, guys, especially people who feel that they've been chosen by God to speak some sort of truth, whether you're a public speaker, whether you're a content creator, which to me, that I look at that as a form of public speaking as well. Whether you have something going on where you're standing up for something and you're standing up for something right, and you have people trying to come against you because they don't like what you're doing. These are all the things that happens when you try and stand up for what's right and tell the truth. And guys, I cannot express this enough, how it seems that everyone's, the people who are trying to stand up and do the right thing and tell the truth and be honest citizens are being attacked on a daily basis. And this is because the fallen angels have come to earth, and they have inhabited many bodies, and with them doing that, they've opened many portals for many more angels, fallen angels, to come through, which are basically demons. They rebelled against God, and now they're back here to come in a physical form to try and push agendas and create this new world to have everyone desensitized to Satan's actions. That's pretty much what it is. It's Satan trying to pretty much take over the entire world and everyone in it. He wants control over everything and everyone. And if he has to go through these measures to make you feel like you're crazy, make everyone else feel like you're crazy, mentally, physically, and spiritually break you, whatever he feels like he has to do in order to silence you from telling the truth and waking people up to his schemes, he will most certainly try. But the Most High wants us to stand strong in our truth because we are protected. And that's the truth. And 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 13 says, "Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong." Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 says, "For freedom Christ has set us free. Stand firm, therefore, and do not submit again to a yoke of slavery." John chapter 17 verse 17 says, "Sanctify them in the truth. Your word is the truth." So guys, we're already protected in this truth. Our walk with Christ is our truth. God already gave us the anointing, the permission, and the protection to speak and carry out our truth. So don't worry about these monitoring spirits, these gangstalkers, all these demonic forces that are trying to stop you. They can try everything they want, but it's not going to work. I have another important message to my butterflies, which I feel that you all are targets, and that's why we resonate with each other. Many are being persecuted for knowing the truth alone. Okay, period. And it's serving as a threat. And you're not hurting anyone. You're not trying to inflict any type of harm on anyone. You're minding your business. Spreading love, but still minding your business. You're not trying to plot. You're not trying to gang stalk. You're not trying to be a part of any of these crowds out here trying to push any of these whack agendas. And for that reason, gang stalkers are assigned to watch and harass you, even to discredit you. And they're trying to bully you into silence. And they feel that their persistency. Have you noticed the gang stalkers are so persistent? And it seems that now I'm starting to feel, and see from experience that the monitoring spirits are becoming stronger than the gang stalkers, because I feel that I'm starting to realize there's certain seasons. There's a seasons where the gang stalkers come out and they collect all the information, and then there's a season where the gang stalkers harass, and then there's a season where the monitoring spirits come back out and they gather more information and they harass themselves. And then that's when the gang stalkers come back out. I've started to pick up on the pattern that's been taking place. And these are the people that label you as mentally ill, and they even spread rumors. They don't care how fake or hurtful the rumors are, they're most certainly spreading them, especially when you're not around to defend the rumors, because they're now mad that you're not around, and they can't make a public mockery out of you. So now they have to find something else to discredit you. So now they have to start a rumor. So now when you do come around, you have people looking at you sideways, and you don't know why. And this is because this is not just anyone telling them these things. These are people that you trust and that you're close to. So as with Mrs. Martha Mitchell, I'm pretty sure she had people spreading rumors, that she was mentally ill and discrediting her name, when all actuality, she was telling the truth. Monitoring spirits inhabit these people, and the monitoring spirits are the fallen angels. They try to cause harm as a threat to dim your light. They hope by them causing harm that it will bully you into a shell, that that you won't talk anymore, you won't get involved anymore, you won't stand up. You'll just be like everyone else and say, okay, I'm just gonna pretend I don't see this. Go ahead, continue to spread iniquity, hate, and continue to try to continue to indoctrinize the rest of society. But I'm here to let everyone know that truth is light, and that is your gift from the Most High, and don't be afraid to use it. Don't let them dim your light, and don't give up. Don't ever give up, because that's what they want you to do. Like I said before, you're already protected. You have the blood of Yahshua. You're covered. God wouldn't have chosen you for this position for you to be defeated by these gang stalkers, defeated by these monitoring spirits, defeated by these demons in disguise, because that's what they are. I'm here to let you know, I know the battle's been hard, because I've been feeling it myself. I know you've been feeling like giving up, because I've been feeling like giving up myself. But I'm here to let you know, the Most High said I can't give up, and neither can you. You cannot give up. Don't let them break you. Now, I have another video that I'm about to present to you guys later. It will be tomorrow. And I'm going to be talking about different myths that come with gang stalking. And it kind of, one has something to do with, kind of in relation to not giving up, okay? And we're going to get into that in another video. But I wanted to come through and share this video with you guys to let you know that in my eyes, Mrs. Martha Mitchell is a hero. And due to her heroic actions, she has an effect named after her that is allowing people to, the Most High is allowing people to research and find these things, and it's waking people up. He led me to this. And you too are a hero. So don't let anyone stop you from whatever it is that you're doing. And if you're in a situation where you have a gut feeling that it's something that you need to speak up about, please do. Because the silence that's been going on is what's creating more iniquity and violence in this world. And we need stronger people that's not afraid to be set apart, that's not afraid to speak up, that's not afraid to fight against indoctrination and being sensitized to evil and Satan's plot and plan to literally try and destroy all of us. And it's sad because the people that are indoctrinated, that seems to be comfortable with it, which I feel that those are the ones that are purposely pushing the agendas, and the ones that have other people following them, it's like they're not thinking about, the fact that they too will and probably has already been deceived. They have already been deceived. He's using them because he can't operate it within himself, and he wants to destroy you. He wants to pull you away from the Most High. So the more everyone wakes up to the things that are going on and the veils are being lifted, the more Satan's plans will be crushed. And with that being said, I hope this video helped someone. I love you guys so much. And until the next video, peace and blessings.